Tonight, from State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, it's Week 16 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Houston Texans.
We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Arizona Cardinals. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He'll find his tight end. It's Adam Troutman. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop him short of a first down.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. So here are the Texans now with a long field ahead. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick back in 2020 from LSU. It's Joe Burrow.
Just 2 weeks left in the regular season, so not many opportunities left. But I've got to tell you, I think he's had an MVP type of a season, and I just hope that everyone who votes doesn't go to sleep and already have their ballots cast.
I think there are a couple others in the national media who feel that way too. You and I have been discussing this race since the calendar hit December, as have many other, but I think it's going to take 8 big quarters for him to truly have consideration. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. He'll get this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
Well, so often now we're praising tight ends for their nimbleness and how they catch the ball downfield. But occasionally we get a reminder that tight ends, they've got that tough guy aspect too. How about him catching that short one there, shaking off tacklers, and turning that into an expansive gain downfield?
So that changes things. Here's 1st and 10 all the way up at the 45. They'll run for the first time with DeAndre Swift. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Swift, the ball carrier.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 17 carries, 67 yards.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on him. He takes care of the football, he gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part of why they're winning games lately.
And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
First down.
Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
And not much running room. Down to the 32. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
When
we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
At the 8-yard line.
And now whistles here and a flag down. Looked like someone got going a little early.
Offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming, pick them up, pick them up. And someone jumped.
On 2nd down, Swift. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Interested to see what they dial up here. 3rd and goal with a lot of green between them and the end zone. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Khalil Mack, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
That's quite a stand there defensively. A huge sack on 3rd down, and that's going to force him into a field goal attempt.
Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And his kick is good. And it's now 3-0 Texans.
Makes the score Texans 3, Cardinals 0.
They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot, Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Cardinal offense coming back out. Let's give you a look at the playoff race. Now, this is into the weekend in the NFC. And right now, they're in that number 2 spot. They would love to hold on to that, but obviously, first things first. They want to clinch the division.
And that's what everyone plays for. Win your division first, guarantees you a spot in the playoffs, but still a nice spot to be in. Not as good as it was when the number 2 seed meant a first-round bye. That's all changed with the new playoff system, but still a nice spot to be in.
Gain on the play. Second and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 11 yards there, first down.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius, understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball, and puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
The pass.
And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down.
So much for the best laid plans and best designed plays. That was good coverage along the sidelines. No place for that one to get in there. It sails incomplete.
Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Connection made with Chenault. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Another first down as he went right back to the same well, this time for 17 yards.
First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Three 0 after one on EA Sports.
Texans 3, Cardinals 0.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. And he'll give it here to his running back. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he'll go down at the 28. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5.
Now 3rd and 5.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Able to complete this to Chenault. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 15 yards that time, and the Cardinals move the chains.
Now, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? Usually see those guys out wide get called for holding on running plays. Here, a passing play.
Yeah, sometimes we give this quick screen, bubble screen, anything where they're having a block.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Credit the sack there to Harold Landry.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete.
The pass.
It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Cliff Kingsbury here on 4th down, trots out the field goal unit. And his kick is indeed good, and that will tie us at 3-3.
That ties the game at 3-3.
So a dozen plays on that drive, CD, but in the end, it yields just the 3 points.
Well, they were able to keep the defense on the field for a long time, but let's be honest about it. That was about as unsatisfying a drive as you're going to get. 12 plays and you only get 3 points out of it. Not quite the ending they were looking for.
The Texans take over 1st and 10.
So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it. The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And this one caught by Cameron Braid. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow. Now Burrow loses the football, and the Cardinals have got it, going the other way. And they bring this one back. A scoop and score, a fumble recovery touchdown for Arizona. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And it is up.
The kick is good.
And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. The scoop and score are always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will make it into the end zone, and he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
That's complete to DK Metcalf. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
A gain of 11 on the play. 1st down, Texans.
They'll run here with Swift. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Down at the 43-yard line. It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and
They run out of the gun with Swift. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. That catch good for only a couple. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Running is Swift. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on third down. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. And that will be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's fourth down. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll kick it away for the second time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Gets around him. That'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. They will throw on first down with Burrow. And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. Khalil Mack in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Smith. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on fourth down. Final play of the half for Burrow and company. Looking here for Smith downfield. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, where you see the final score there. A 3-touchdown differential in the end, 35-14, the final. Next, we head off to check out another game, and it was the visiting Chicago Bears who come away with the victory. 28-17, your final score. And then on Monday night, folks, you are in for a treat. They've got a good one lined up between the Dallas Cowboys and the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Cards with the lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard.
Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Swift. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Simmons on the tackle. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and
now Burrow
at the 35-yard line.
got an open man. It's Washington. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. Powers through. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10. At the 27.
On 2nd down, Burrow. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
They'll try and run here with Swift. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This from 36 yards out. And his kick here is good. And that'll bring him back within 4.
Makes the score Cardinals 10, Texans 6.
So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. A pass underneath for Fournette. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Fournette, a first down carry. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 46. Oh, they'll try a jet sweep here with Higgins. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10. At the Texans.
2nd and 10. Dancing to his left. He's going to take off with it.
The quarterback on
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Instead of a 3rd and 1 run, they go pass, and they get 12 yards out of it.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Yeah, he's able to push his way forward somehow for a gain of about 2 yards. 2nd down now.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive.
A 2-yard pickup brings up 3rd and
now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He hit his first, this one from 38. And this one is right through. And that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6.
13. Texans 6.
So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. For the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And Charles, we've seen almost 3 full quarters now, and neither offense can really get it going. Neither has hit the end zone, and neither side seemingly can make that big play.
But the game hasn't been devoid of action because these two defenses, they've taken over and they've slugged it out. But I think you're exactly right. We're at that stage of the game now where one of these offenses, if they make a big play, that could be the difference.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Brought him down. A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the 24-yard line.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 12-yard line.
Back to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. Even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
Hard throw, incomplete. And that one off the mark, a little late with the throw. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And his kick is good. And that one makes this a 10-point game at 16-6.
The score, Cardinals 16, Texans 6.
Same story continues. He's the only one that scored for them, their kicker, with all the points.
So now when we hear the chants of MVP, MVP, they're definitely aimed at him because he has been the only guy who's put points on the board in this game.
Kickers are always either the hero or the GOAT. So far, he's definitely the hero. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now,
the Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him.
He was the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. He'll find Swift out of the backfield. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
And it's 3rd down.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Looking downfield for Jones. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Justin Jefferson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals push further out in front. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only 1 play to score it. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 23.
Houston set to take over. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big 4th quarter hole. Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Metcalf, incomplete. He was
once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Jones. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. The Texans on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 4. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he is going to have a Texans 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 85 catches for him on the year now, and the result there is a 1st down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
First down. Here's Burrow. He'll find Metcalf. Touchdown, Houston. DK Metcalf hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Texans get a bit closer. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is in a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
It is true, the lead cut to 10, 23-13. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. Taking it about the 1. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
The Cardinals on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. This one complete into the hands of Higgins. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big one there on third down. They hit for 30 yards.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. This offensive line starting to win up front. You win that battle in the trenches, you can kind of wear them down here late.
So you bring in the second part to that equation, and that's the big running back, the big bruiser, who can get more than what's blocked and break a few extra tackles and gain yardage.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he'll go down, brought down at the 20-yard line.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number. We can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop them here. That's complete right around the 8. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Now a handoff here to his running back. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of a couple. The defense stiffening here. It's 3rd and goal.
Brings up 3rd and goal.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals will extend their lead.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
And it's up and good. A 10-play drive that time. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will make it into the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Von Miller, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And the pressure gets to him again. Khalil Mack in there to make the sack on what will be the final act in this ball game.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for the Cards, the wins keep coming as this one moves them to 12-3 on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the 49ers will come to town. Meanwhile, for Houston, their playoff hopes take a big hit as they fall to 8-7. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.